But being in the Superdome was arguably more important. It was a representation of survival, reclamation, and eventually home of the Super Bowl 44 champions. And despite the loss of Drew Brees, who is expected to return soon, the Saints are still contenders to win it all. Teddy Bridgewater is under center for now, and he has a tough task this Sunday when they face the Cowboys at the Superdome. Let's talk about it, shall we? Speaking of Teddy, free agent in 2020, quarterback Teddy B has something to prove. Bridgewater hopes to become the first Saints quarterback not named Drew Brees to win a game at the Superdome since Aaron Brooks did it in 2004. Another 2020 free agent on this weekend, well, it's Amari Cooper. Cooper trying to get paid like his Saints counterpart Michael Thomas. His tied for league lead with 4 receiving touchdowns. Thomas just got $60 million, so he'd like that as well. The guy throwing to Cooper is making his money, well, or trying to make more money. Kellen Moore has this guy, Dak Prescott, looking amazing. QBR has jumped 35 points from last season up to 90. It's the best in the NFL. Prescott has only been pressured on 18% of his dropbacks this season versus 32% last season.
All right, let's get more on the matchup. Ed Werder joins us now from the Star in Frisco. Saints coming off a really nice win, Ed, in Seattle. They got a defensive touchdown, they got a special team score, and they had a lot of Alvin Kamara. So what did Jason Garrett have to say about facing this Saints offense?
Well, as you'll hear in a minute, he was pretty effusive in his praise and appraisal of Alvin Kamara. You know, the Cowboys are fortunate that they don't have to defend Drew Brees, who remains out indefinitely following thumb surgery last week. So their primary challenge now is tackling Saints running back Alvin Kamara. Last week, in the first game that Sean Payton won without Brees as his starting quarterback, Kamara gained 161 total yards from scrimmage and scored as both a receiver and a runner. He gained 93 yards from scrimmage after first contact in the game. That's the most in his career and the most by any player in the NFL this season.
Great football player, just off the charts in every facet of the game. He's a really, really good runner. He can run inside, he can run outside. He's an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. They line him up in different spots. He can run routes from anywhere. He's great with the ball after he catches it. He's just dynamic. He's been a featured player for him since he's gotten there. And again, he's been able to do whatever you could ask a running back to do right from the start. So he's a great player. He's hard to tackle. He's very elusive. Got great quickness, speed, explosiveness, and he's hard to bring down. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Well, Chris Richard makes the defensive calls for the Cowboys, and they defeated the Saints and held a New Orleans offense that led the NFL in scoring at the time to just 10 points here last season. And essential to that victory was their ability to contain Kamara as well as any opponent since he came into the NFL. Kamara had 19 touches for just 72 yards. His longest play covered just 8 yards. And Richard introduced the idea of assigning a cornerback to cover Kamara in certain passing situations, explaining his strategy thusly, David. If they're going to treat him like a wide receiver, why wouldn't we?
Makes sense. He's already got 17 catches.